I grew up on a farm. I grew up on a farm in a farm town and grew up on a farm. There were so many who had a particular crop, and we shared with each other. I remember the elders of the community reaching out saying, "Come and get some of my bushels." That meant corn, it meant collard greens, and that meant tomatoes, something. That also meant that we were finna work. So that meant put on your stuff that you would use to clean the house. Come on down the road. Bring your stuff with you because we finna shuck some corn. We finna do some beans. We finna do some field peas. We finna do some black eyed peas. We finna mess around and do some stuff with some collard greens. We finna cut up some tomatoes and get it ready to stew and make some stewed tomatoes. Ooh, them things be so sweet. And make your own biscuits. Oh my God. Or making our own jelly or making our own apple butter. Those were the days. You hear me? We would go to shuck corn, do peas, beans, and cut up vegetables, stew, can, and the elders would be sharing oral wisdom, and you just were like, really? Those were the days so precious to me. The elders would pass down information, and everyone would be on the edge of their seats. I would leave there and live a different life at home, but not allowed to share it with anyone. The elders knew it and would pull me to the side and pray over me and give me words of wisdom. I would get upset and say to myself, pull me out of here. I would say that to myself, but God had a purpose. Little did I know that the experience would prepare me for what I'm living right now. Each moment is different, but things keep coming back to look over and see it again in a different way. At first, I was like, I've already done the work. What I didn't understand was that healing isn't linear. It comes back in a spiral or in a, a cylinder way. It keeps coming back. It's meant to show you another side of your life that you missed. And because you're more matured and you've learned a little bit differently. You've seen a little bit now. And so you can see it differently. I've learned now to say, what am I supposed to gain from this on this level? Is it always easy? Mm-mm. Because sometimes I don't want to put on my big girl panties. And I know there are dudes that say, I don't want to put on the briefs. I don't. Sometimes I don't want to put on my big boy briefs. But that's what it requires you to do. Excuse me, confirmation. Nothing just happens in this universe. Remember that. Nothing just happens. But what are you paying attention to? Growing up in a small town, working to assist as team members, and then coming into a world that was like life I lived in a little home in the home I lived in. So where I was upset with my upbringing for so long, I now thank them for preparing me for this world we now live in. I was going in cycles over and over again because I was giving and sharing too much. The thing is, when we don't slow down to see, we can end up falling apart. And see, the thing is, when we don't slow down, we get an opportunity for everything to fall apart. No, we don't want things to fall apart because that means we have to start over. But starting over is an amazing thing. I have done some amazing feats in my life, and when I had to start over, it was as if they didn't even matter. People didn't see that. Only thing they could see was who I am right now. And when I tried to share it, it was as if I was talking to a chalkboard. So I was like, just be quiet. All right. It's the thing holding us in the same patterns. And that's why you get a chance to let everything just fall to the ground and just start over. When you see something that doesn't sit right with you, ask yourself, like I do, is that in me? Even a small smidgen. See, we get to be honest and realize we're all one, and just maybe someone else's greed, anger, underhanded ways have harmed us. Then ask yourself, have I healed that little girl or boy in me that ran from home to start a new life? And maybe you didn't have a rough upbringing. Maybe you had parents who gave you everything, but they didn't give you love. Or maybe you had the upbringing like I did, and you're seeking love from other people. However, you get an opportunity to seek it from yourself first, and that allows you to go through the process of finding love in self. Is it always easy? Mm-mm. Because when you start seeing them cyclical natures of life, you like, you know what? I've already worked on this. But it's to show you a different version of yourself. Everywhere you go, they come too. Everywhere you go, that little girl and that little boy that's in you is coming with you. Waiting for you to let them out of the cellar that you put them in. Because you made vows. I will never, I ain't gonna ever. Yeah. That part of you allows you to become better because it's truly the authentic part of you. When you allow you to be able to be available for use, the perfect mask you display can be placed on the shelf to be all of you. I'm going to suggest some reading, and you can take it how you choose. Okay. The Bible in Acts 11 through 12. And if you read the Quran, I'm gonna give you this 2 2:14, but I think once you read that full chapter, you go, oh my God. It talks about in the Quran, it talks about persevering through trials and letting go forward. Don't let someone tell you what it says. See it for yourself. See the whole thing. See the whole thing. Because when I looked at it, I was like, do they know this? See it for yourself instead of letting somebody read it to you. When you read it for yourself, you get to see all the nuances and take notes and see what you receive from it. Because somebody gonna tell you what they're receiving, but what do you receive when you read it? See it for yourself and see what you understand. See, let's make it a natural thing to go find out the truth for ourselves instead of believing what others say. That way you have it the way you see it, because everyone has had a different way of life. And so if you take it how the preacher is saying it on Sunday or Wednesday nights, Sunday service or Wednesday nights, you're only taking it from their perspective. You have a whole nother perspective because you've lived a different life. And so God can share something with you that maybe you've never heard before. If you just take a moment to sit still. Woo! You get to go for yourself and check it out. Okay. And look up the information. Just look it up. Because sometimes what happens is the little simple, the Bible calls it iniquity, the simple things that we call jealousy and envy and all of that. Once you start reading the Bible for yourself, those little things just fall off because you're no longer listening to someone else say it. You're reading it for yourself and you're like, I never saw it that way before. So you start seeing life differently. But an actual check and look up the information for yourself to clear your mind. Because see, when you look up the information yourself, you see it differently. And then nobody can get over on you because now you know what it says and you wrote it down in your journal how it felt to you. Okay. Because we've all lived different things. We've all lived different lives. So God may tell you something and it really hits hard. And so when someone try to say, no, that's not what it meant, you like, no, you can say what you like, but I know what it means for me. Okay. Symptoms today. I've been feeling like I've been in a pressure cooker. My my crown and third eye. Child, I feel like I am in a pressure cooker like some collard greens. And you know how I get anything